Hi, welcome to Brunch with Brian with Brian Wolf and the Wolf couple. So today I want to talk about it's Let It Go Day. So why do we sometimes have success? Why do we find success and sometimes we don't? Why do we sometimes seem to hold ourselves back? Sometimes we're held back by certain thinking that we can't let go of. And so I'm telling you right now, I have trouble with this one. And it will absolutely hold you back from being as happy and as successful as you could be if you're holding on to things from the past. So, how do you identify that this is an issue for you? Just look at what you're thinking about during the day. When you have a spare moment, normally if you're busy, that's good. Normally we like to be busy, so you're busy with a task, you're making phone calls, you're working on something, you're working in your garden. But if you're doing a task, that allows you to think, what are you thinking about? Where do your thoughts tend to gravitate towards? Now, if you find yourself thinking about stuff from the past, and especially stuff that you're not happy about, that doesn't make you more confident. See, that's the key. All the past, what you want to try to do with your past is the negative stuff, and everybody has negative stuff in their past. Areas where you feel like you made mistakes or messed up a relationship or said the wrong thing or just blew something and maybe blew a real estate deal. Now, if you're hanging on to that stuff, that is hindering you, hampering. I was trying to say hampering and hindering. It's doing both, and it's keeping you from being as successful as you can be. It's like an anchor pulling you back. Now, if you find yourself thinking about dwelling on stuff from the past that's negative, that doesn't build your confidence, I want you to examine that incident, what happened, and especially if it's something you focus on a lot or, even just a little bit. Look at it a little bit closer and figure out what happened, what did you do wrong, and here's where forgiveness plays in. And I'm telling you, forgiveness is a huge thing, and self-forgiveness is like massive. And I'll tell you, your success in real estate is to some degree actually affected by your ability to forgive yourself, because you will make mistakes. When you try something new, try a new business, that's why some people don't try real estate. That's why some people actually, they're just so afraid they're going to make a bunch of mistakes and they're not very self-forgiving. They know they're going to be really hard on themselves. Now, I admit it, I'm bad at that. I'm bad at self-recrimination. I beat myself up when I make mistakes. And, so I look at that part of my personality and I say, okay, I have to control that part. Otherwise, I'm not going to be as happy as a person as I can be. But how can I structure my thinking so that I can let go of stuff and learn from stuff? And that's what I try to do. So when I have a incident or a relationship or something in the past, I'll focus on it. Sometimes I'll write it out. That's very helpful if you write out what happened and what you think you did wrong. Because you know what? It's sometimes you're holding on to stuff because of something someone else did wrong, and then you need to practice forgiveness of them. Okay, and sometimes it's because of stuff you did wrong. I tend to gravitate towards the stuff I feel like I did wrong. Although not always. Sometimes, when people do you wrong and unjustly lie and do things that, affect your happiness and your other relationships with other people, obviously that's going to be something that you have to let go. And that's a hard one to forgive, too. It's hard to forgive some people at some point. So that's a hard one to crack. And if you get good at it, it's great. Sometimes your faith can help you be more forgiving. Jesus said, turn the other cheek. So it's best to try to be forgiving. Remember, if you hold on to hate, or if you say, I hate this person, or I have some, animosity or grudge towards this person, you're holding that negative emotion. They don't even know it. They have no idea you're harboring these negative emotions. You're feeling them. They're not feeling them. So you're allowing that person to affect your emotional state. So the best way to let go of, and I know it's hard, The best way to let go of that is to forgive them. Forgive them whatever they did, and understand too that, and that for this you need sort of a holistic approach. You sort of need to say that people are, most people are trying to just get through life and not mess it all up. And, most people are trying to do what they think is best for them. Okay. And so sometimes that's not good for you. And sometimes they'll do things that are unethical, that will actually really annoy you, and somehow you have to be able to let go of that. Somehow you have to just move past that and be forgiving. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes if a thing is really fresh, it just happens. Sometimes it takes a while to get to that point where you can really forgive someone, but you have to get to that point. Otherwise, that's holding you back. And you have to be able to let go of stuff that's holding you back. Otherwise, and it's going to hamper your confidence and your ability to succeed and your performance in any given situation. So the best thing to do is let it go on Let It Go Day. And the key to that is forgiveness. And the key to that is, and if you want to do the exercise I do, go ahead and write it out. Say what you think you did wrong, what you think the other people in the situation did wrong. And this is the hard part. Write down, I forgive myself, or I forgive whoever the person is in that, and sign it. Okay. Now, if you want to do, sometimes people like to do a thing where they fold that up and burn it and let it go. So that's a real let it go exercise. So, I have trouble with that, because, that's really good though if you can burn that, because then that's part of that process of letting it go. Now, I'm the kind of person who never likes to burn a piece of paper. Anything I ever wrote, I try to hang on to. I have notebooks like these all over the place, for years. And I have trouble throwing old notebooks away, because that's my brain and my heart and my soul there. So, but you got to let go of the stuff that's negative. Now, if you're thinking about the past and you're thinking positive things and it builds your confidence, well, that's great. Then you don't have to let it go. But it's the negativity that we want to get away from, because we want to use that law of attraction in our life, positivity, law of positive, positive mental attitude, to be drawn to the positive. There's positive and negative poles in life, so I want you guys to be more positive. So that's why I try to give you guys positive messages, and this is a really good one, and this is an important one, to let it go and to think about forgiveness and all the little sore spots in your life from the past. If you're still thinking about them, that just indicates to me that forgiveness has not occurred, and whether it's yourself or someone else, and you gotta enforce that forgiveness sometimes so you can let it go and move on. So I'm gonna let it go. Okay, let's just do a real simple affirmation today. I'm gonna let it go. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. One more time. I'm gonna let it go. Yes. Okay, great. So let's do our deep breathing. Nice deep breath in. And I don't know what it is exactly for you, but some of the things that you need to work on letting go and forgiving. Okay, so deep breath in. Hold it a little bit and let it go. That's why I wore a white shirt. Let it go. Start fresh, right? That's the thing, guys. If you don't let it go, you can't start fresh. And so stuff's holding you back. Okay, another deep breath in. Hold it a little bit and let it go. Another deep breath in. And let go. Okay, so sometimes let go. That deep breath and letting it go is really good. And letting go of tension, and that will help you. And anger is sometimes the thing we hang on to that's keeping us, preventing us from exerting forgiveness. But you got to let go of that, guys, because sometimes that feels comfort. You can actually find some comfort in that anger. Like, this is justifiable, righteous anger, and I have a right to feel it. And it can actually feel kind of good, but it's not leading to your success. And that's the thing. That's why you got to move on so you can focus on your future and your success. Now, I do want you to do one other little exercise. I want you to, there is something in the past that you still hang on to and haven't let go of, write down the lessons that you learned. Okay, so write down lessons you can take from that. Everything that bothers you, it bothers you because you can learn some lesson from it. And once you really forgive and take the lesson away, then you can really let go. So let it go today, guys. Awesome lesson on Brunch with Brian, and that will help you succeed in real estate because you'll be able to focus on what's important in your future. So until next time, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, and taking action.